Well, Mark Messier, of course, as soon as you hear the name Mark Messier here in southern Alberta in Canada, it's called. And so here you are back in Lethbridge, and I know that you've got a little bit of history, having played with Spruce Grove, and then coming down here to play the Tabor Golden Suns. So, what's it like to come back to Lethbridge, and what sort of memories you've got right now?
A lot of memories driving here from Calgary. Been many times on the road on the bus with the team, and there's just something about driving through Alberta that is very memorable for me and really brings me back home. So good to be back here. I was here last year or the year before with hometown hockey, and always nice to come back to Alberta and see some great people.
Tell me there's a lot of people who are leaders, but not a lot of people are great leaders. What has made you a great leader? And you don't have to be humble about that.
It's hard to say one thing that's made anybody a good leader. I mean, I was fortunate to have good people around me and good role models growing up, from Muhammad Ali to Bobby Orr to Guy Lafleur, and of course my father, who was a hockey player and a great educator and great hockey person who I learned a lot from, and then the people that helped me along the way, and also when I got to the pro game, the great captains that I had and the great leadership that we had as young guys to really help us understand what being a pro is. And so I think when you say, what makes anybody a good leader, I think it's through experiences, positive experiences and negative experiences along the way, and form your own kind of identity of how you think, you want to be perceived and lead. And that's kind of what I did over the years, and had some success, and things fell into place.
Ultimately, what is the role of a captain on a hockey team?
Well, it's many roles a captain serves, and of course, one of the main ones is to be a conduit between the players and the coaching staff and the management, to make sure that everybody is on the same page and has the same focus and the same goals, and to instill the confidence in the players, and to make sure that the players all feel heard, and they feel that they're well represented. They feel that their role in the team is very important to the success of the team, and of course then you got to lead by example as well. So it's multi-dimensional, captain, and of course the most important thing is you got to be able to plan a good Halloween party. That's right. Very important. Very important.
I mean, everybody wants to ask you about the feeling it is of being a Stanley Cup winner, hoisting the cup, and you've done it 5 times with the Oilers, and then the 6th time, of course, with the Rangers. And that particular Stanley Cup, of course, won after such a long drought. And was that much more special than the other ones, or equally, and especially when you've got a city like New York behind that, and the whole history of that it had to be something.
It certainly was, and original 6 team, 54 years without a Stanley Cup, generations of fans that had been waiting to see a Stanley Cup in New York. So it was incredible from that perspective. But every Stanley Cup and every win is unique in its own way. Every team has its own story. Every team is motivated for different reasons. Every team has different players, and what brings each team together is different every year. And you're always trying to find that elusive chemistry that is so much needed in a championship run, but that's the fun of it. That's for me was what I came to training camp every September looking to trying to achieve, and that's what kept me young playing the game, and sometimes it didn't work out, sometimes it did, but for the most part it was always fun trying to chase.
What about, as a captain, what do you do about a player who's got great talent, but off the ice he's got issues, or he's not a great team player? What do you do about guys like that on a team? Because he brings something for the actual game, but he is kind of a distraction for the rest of the team, and maybe ultimately isn't the best fit for it. What can you do about that?
I don't think there's any one thing. I think it's a combination of things, but I think the first and foremost is that if the team and organization has created a culture that they've lived by over a certain amount of time, then every player that comes into that organization is responsible to fall into that culture on and off the ice. And I think good championship teams and good successful organizations and businesses create that culture, so when people do come in from different teams or different areas, they know what's expected of them. It's very defined, it's very clear, and it's up to them to fall in line. And if not, you give that person, in my opinion, every opportunity to learn and learn from his mistakes and make mistakes, but learn from them and continue his own growth as a player on the ice and as a person off the ice. Because, as we've seen, these professional organizations are very important to the communities, and how they're perceived off the ice is an important factor in the team's success on the ice.
So fantastic. What do you think about the Greatness and Leadership event that's taking place in Lethbridge?
Yeah, it's I've been speaking with Ryan, and for me, it's about inspiring our youth. That's what I've really focused in a lot for the last few years since retirement, and creating access and opportunity for our youth, and giving them a pathway and a thread to hang on to, and try to help them find their passion. And once they find their passion, how do they maximize their own potential and reach their own potential? And leadership conferences like this, I think, are a learning opportunity for all of us, of not only how to do what we're doing better, but also help our youth understand what it means to be a leader, and to have the confidence to go out there and try what they really feel is important to them.
Are you okay with the fact that Wayne Gretzky was the first guest, not you?
I am more than happy with Wayne was being the first one here, and it wouldn't be the first time Wayne was the first in something.
And finally, what's your Halloween costume for this year?
I'm always Elvis. I'm always Elvis.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mark Messier.
Thank you.
Stats meant 0 to me.